Well, hello there everybody and welcome back. Hopefully this video finds you well. Today we're going to take a look at another offering from Packet Gourmet. This is their very interestingly named Shepherd's Cottage Pie. So Shepherd's Pie would traditionally have lamb in it. Cottage Pie would be ground beef, right? Ground turkey, I suppose. You could also substitute that out as well. But a Shepherd's Pie is going to have lamb. But this is Shepherd's Cottage Pie. So it's not just anyway, I remember reading this name and I'm like, it's cottage pie. Because this is ground beef, herbed vegetables, and a rich gravy topped with cheddar mashed potatoes. Not bad, right? Sounds pretty good. But it's a cottage pie. But no, it's a shepherd's cottage pie. Oh, whatever. So anyway, Packet Gourmet has usually been pretty solid. They have some cook-in-the-bag meals. They also have some skillet meals. They have a couple of different things. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we've got. Well, you know what? Before we hit the real money shot there, let's take a look at nutritional facts for those of you who are interested in that. 660 calories for the whole pouch, so pretty good. As always, you see those percentages, which are pretty typical. We have our ingredients list down here, which is fairly big, fairly large ingredients list, but a lot of stuff in there. Colby cheese, all right. And then your cooking instructions. So we're looking for 1 1/8 cup or 9 ounces or 266 milliliters of boiling water in the main meal pouch and stir. Now add 2/3 5 ounce or 147 mils boiling water to the potato pouch. So it looks like we do have potatoes in one pouch and the main in another pouch, which is great. And then there we go. Dig in. Okay, let's at least open it up first. Ah, okay, I see what we're doing. Oh God. We've got this folded pouch here. I'm getting powder all over the place, aren't I? Not so bad. There's a pea that tried to escape. Oxygen absorber, get that out of there. That looks nice. Got some good color in there, little beef bits and peas and corn and carrots. That smells pretty good too. And then we have our package of instant mash with cheese. Interesting. Wonder if those are, So it's more like potato pellets as opposed to potato powder, which is, you know, we've got examples on the channel of like some of the Idahoan potatoes and everything, which are usually pretty darn good. There's that oxygen absorber, get that out of there, we don't want that. And then we I have powder literally all over the place. Reduced sodium, beef flavor broth concentrate. Savory choice, clean and healthy. Okay. Add contents of pouch to 1 cup of hot water. Interesting, okay. So this pouch, there we go. Excellent. So this pouch is a collapsible bottom, so that's good. So effectively we've got 2 pouches that we're gonna hold our meal in. So conceivably, when I pour this out on the tray, we can indeed top the contents of this pouch with our contents of this pouch, a little potato pouch. So nice. All right. So y'all know by now, but I'm just gonna give the disclaimer here. Read the instructions. It's always the best thing you can do, especially if you are not used to this kind of thing. A lot of times what I'll do is I will add just enough water to kind of get the contents of the pouch to look how I would like them to look when it was finished, like once it's rehydrated, and then add a little bit more water after that. because you do want to leave a little bit of extra water to complete that rehydration step. And in this particular one, because it does have peas, peas will require a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. Things like rice and pasta, though, they require a fair amount of water to get to where they need to be. Now that's about what I'd like to see it if we were done. So a little bit gravy-like, but relatively thick. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more water just to thin that out a wee bit. And then that should be good to reconstitute. And that should give us a nice thick gravy once we get in there. I'm just gonna throw this in here. I don't remember. What did it say anything specifically about this? No, broth concentrate. No, it just says throw the broth concentrate in here, so that's what we're gonna do. Get that in there. Stir it up. Good smells coming from here, I'll give it that. Man, that broth concentrate smells very nice. I'm just gonna add a little bit more here, a little bit more. See, as we have that broth concentrate in there, we don't want that to take over everything. Yeah, smell a little bit smoky. Definitely very much beef. Okay, and then our potatoes. We're just gonna pretty much do the same procedure there. We're gonna add a little bit in. Stir, stir, stir. Try and get all this combined. This is an interesting consistency with these like little pellety things. And I'm assuming that they will kind of melt down because they're not instantly kind of doing that. Okay, I'm just mashing and mashing for all of you who think I think I stir too much. You gotta stir. You gotta stir. It's like one of the most, this is more like shreddy potatoes though. This is definitely not like mash. This is like shredded potatoes, which is pretty cool. Add a little bit more in there. Again, to that rule of thumb though, you can always add more water, but you can't take it away. All right, I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna kind of watch it a bit. But that looks more like shreddy potatoes. So anyway, I'm gonna let this sit, reconstitute. We'll come back, get the tray up here, and then we'll combine and see how it tastes. All right, we are back. Shepherd's Cottage Pie, Packet Gourmet. I think for the purposes of just being all cool and nice, we'll just get all of this on the main chamber here. There's a little bit more in there, but I don't think that's worth talking about. And we're gonna smooth this out a little bit. Make it nice and smooth. And then we're gonna try our best to put our potatoes on top. So they did indeed come together, our little shreddy potatoes that I thought we were looking at. They did come together. And I did add a little bit more water into the potatoes just to make sure that they were properly reconstituted and not just a blob of glue. All right. Okay, that's not bad. Not a bad pour. And then just to be a perfectionist about it, let's just, some of it's still a little shreddy potato. There we go. All right, now let's toss this in the oven and brown it, right? Nah, we're gonna just try it straight up. Okay, let's just roll on in. Get a nice big old bite, get it in the mouth. There's a lot of flavors in there, man. There's a lot of flavors going on in there. Let's just try some of the potato. These are like a cheesy potato, right? Yeah, the potatoes definitely do have some of that cheese in it. It's not bad. Actually, one of the few things that I would almost want a bit saltier. Let's just get some of the meat and veg. That's nice. Now, the meat and veg part is a little salty. Actually, it's pretty salty. But it's very beefy. You know, I get some of the peas, some of that corn. Everything's reconstituted nicely, so I can't complain with that. All together, pretty darn good, actually. Man. Yeah, this is really good. Like, this is actually really, really nice. It's one of the few shepherd's pies or cottage pies, depending on ground beef or turkey or whatever. Turkey, lamb. That I can honestly say is really good. Get some of the sharpness of that cheese. Mashed potatoes is pretty good. The underside is pretty heavily spiced, a little too salty. But yeah, it's not, and there's a little bit of a black pepper spice in there too, which is nice. Yeah, altogether, this is great. Packet Gourmet, again, they've had some real hits. And this is definitely a hit. And you know what else I like? I like the fact that the beef bits are kind of like different sizes. Not every one of them is the same exact little round shape. You know, you get some bigger ones and some shorter ones. A little bit of crunch of carrot. And that's another thing too. I like when veggies are a little crunchy. And not crunchy in a way like they're not rehydrated properly, but they still retain a little bit of that crunch that makes a vegetable a vegetable. Let me just try a solo pea here. Oh, now I'm kicking stuff. Yeah, there's still a little bit of flavor left in that pea too, which is amazing because peas, they lose their flavor so quickly. So quickly. Yeah, overall, really, really nice meal. Great flavor, very beefy, a little salty, you know, a little cheesy, little starchy. Overall, this is great. Now, I will say one thing here, that making this nice little pretty picture is a bit impractical on trail or just out in the field. So realistically, this would be one of those things where you're just pouring every darn thing into that bag and letting it go. But either or, that is a filling, hearty, protein-rich meal. I'm going to give you a little bit of that starch. I think that's about as good as you can get, honestly. That's a top tier. That is a top tier freeze-dried ration right there. Great job, Packet Gourmet. Seriously, fantastic. Well, all right, folks. In the comments below, have you tried this one before? If you have, let me know. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. What did you think of the video? All that good stuff. Leave that in the comments down below, along with any suggestions for future videos you might have. If you'd like to send something in to be reviewed on the channel, the P.O. box is in the description, as well as the Patreon link if you'd like to support the channel. It's cool if not. It's just there if you want it. And then don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.